Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Gauge 1 Thomas & Friends video. So in my last video, we took a look at the Gauge 1 Edward. And now we're looking at the updated, new and improved Gauge 1 Toby. So Toby seems to be one of the most simplest models I've ever made, and I honestly wasn't expecting him to be done this quickly, but...
When did you make him?
2022, which was 2 years ago. The same time I made James and Thomas. Now, the two models I've been wanting to make the most were James and Thomas, and I tried to make Annie and Clarabelle and the Troublesome trucks. I completed Thomas's coaches, but I never got around to painting the trucks. But who knows, maybe I might do that one day. But anyways, I thought I'd try and make other models during that time, just to see, how, big I can make the collection, because there's, way more, So these files were created by a user named Jamos Tranos. And he's made a couple of Gauge 1 Thomas & Friends props before. At first he made a Google Drive where you could, actually download the files, but recently he uploaded them to Thingiverse, which is even better. Now, for some reason, none of these files ever include the faces. There are a few missing parts to most of the files, but the biggest thing are the faces. If you're wondering where this Toby face came from, this face was actually commissioned by the Lazy Train, who also had his own Thingiverse account last year. And he made faces for, the entire main cast, except for Emily. And Duck as well. But he's made Thomas, Edward, Henry, Gordon, James, Percy, and Toby, which has definitely helped me out. So, shout out to the Lazy Train for making these Gauge 1 faces, and I hope he does more. Look, the faces he's made aren't for a specific gauge. They're just, accurate faces for, whatever type of scale you're making.
Then you enlarge it?
Yeah, then you just scale it in 3D Builder. So, Toby's original face was made out of clay, which looked kind of weird, but...
I remember.
I tried my best to sculpt as best as I could.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw these faces, I actually went back and updated Toby and Edward. And James and Thomas, and I gotta say, James's face is way better than the one he had last time. Same thing with Thomas, because it's more accurate to the actual show. Same thing with Edward and Toby. Now, I think the face came out spot on, the way the face has been painted, Now, the eyebrows are sort of interesting, but he honestly looks exactly like Toby, just his overall design, here, I feel like this is 1-to-1 with the actual Gauge 1 prop. Now, I know his paint job might not be screen accurate. He might be a little too dark, a little too light. I don't know. But, for all I know, this is what Toby is colored in the TV show. Since he's made out of wood, you can see, the ingrained detail on the wood. And his number is supposed to be a sticker decal. It's starting to peel off a little bit, but let's be thankful that it hasn't fallen off yet. The cow catchers are all separate pieces. Now, when it comes to these Gauge 1 models, they're, built as, little model kits. Those model kits that you get at hobby stores and stuff. And they come with, a little piece of super glue that you have to, and they have instructions where you, have to put every piece together.
And a little tiny thing of paint.
And just glue it on. These kind of remind me of those, model kits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you had, a model kit of a boat or a plane or a car. So, it's kind of interesting. I understand why these models have, separate pieces, because, I think it would take a long time for the printer to print these. And believe me, it does take a long time for most parts. Maybe I'm talking about the bigger parts, this entire, body right here, and the cow catchers, and his chassis. Now, underneath, this is actually supposed to be based off of the Gauge 1 Marklin chassis, because if you don't know, these were actually Gauge 1 Marklin engines that they cut down to fit more with the Thomas Friends characters, and then they just scratched both the bodies, and I've already said they gave them eye mechanisms and other things. So, the chassis is red like the Marklin one, and the wheels are also red now. I know you're probably going to be asking why I made them red instead of black. Well, this is based off of Toby's season 1 through 4 prop before it was changed. So, for some reason, they actually upgraded the models over time, like, as the show progressed. I mean, I feel like they could have just, like, saved their budget to, like, make newer characters and, like, so they could adapt more stories from the Railway series. Like, they could have made the Mountain Engines, they could have made Ginty and Pug, they could have made Alfred and Croven, imagine that. They could have made, like, Big City Engine, and they could have also adapted Thomas and the Great Railway Show, where we could have seen, like, Duchess of Hamilton, the Mallard, and Stevenson's Rocket. But, I mean, for the time, like, they did their best, like, they did what they could to, like, adapt the actual books, and they did a pretty good job story-wise. And they did make some of the models to their full potential, like, giving them white running boards just to, like, make them stick out better. I mean, the black running boards were alright in the Railway series, but it's the other details that they've added to these characters, and they still do look like their Railway series counterparts, except less realistic. But, anyways. So, I mean, overall, I don't know what to say about Toby that hasn't been said already, because Toby has a nice character trait. Now, anyways, I think one of my favorite episodes would have to be, like, Thomas Breaks the Rules, and I also like Toby in the Flood as well. Like, I think Toby's supposed to be another old character who's a nice authority figure to engines like Percy. I think they have a nice dynamic with each other, and when Thomas and Percy are both having a banter with each other, Toby's just smiling throughout. Which is sort of interesting. Like I already said, Edward doesn't, like, it doesn't affect Edward when he's being made fun of for being old. Which I support Edward for that. Like, it takes guts. Anyways, to, like, push through no matter what struggles the engines are going through and everything else. Like, I think Toby in the Flood was one of the more interesting and most action-packed episodes.
What year was it from?
1998.
Oh, wow.
Like, the show's been around since 1984. Like, around the same time that Transformers came out. And 2 years, like, before MLP came out.
Wow. That is old.
Yeah, that is old. Like, I was born in 2002, so, like, I wasn't around for the first 5 seasons before the show went downhill. And it isn't until you get older that you, like, realize the production history and
when you
realizing,
can look it up.
Now, Thomas and the Magic Railroad did fail at the box office, which caused the show to, like, not, like, to, like, cut corners and stuff. Like, I will say season 6 and 7 are still amazing. I think season 8 is when they actually started to cut corners. And just, like, disregard, like, what made Thomas special. Which is sort of sad, and I don't understand, like, why most corporations, like, care about money rather than just, like, making a good show. But for the time being, like, it was still nice that we had the first 7 seasons. Like, the show had a nice, charming sense, and the stories were, like, well written, and they had a nice cast of characters. The models were beautiful as always. And, like, just everything about Thomas makes it so unique compared to other shows. And I like how it was more than just a kid's show, unlike nowadays where they made All Engines Go and Big World Big Adventures. Just like all the other generic modern kid shows, except for maybe a couple, but who knows. Anyways, back to Toby. So overall, I think Toby has a pretty nice design, and he's probably the most easiest one I've done since he's just a little box on wheels. Like, there's not much to him that makes him complex compared to, like, someone like Thomas or James. Or, like, Gordon, for that matter, or Henry, since they're both bigger. I think the hardest thing would be to, like, motorize these engines, like, give them IMEX. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, I think what would be nice is if these files came with 3 faces. I don't know why JMOS didn't make any 3 faces. But there are other people who have made these faces, and I'm really happy, especially the Lazy Train. However, there were some files that sadly got taken off from Thingiverse, which is kind of sad. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because of copyright infringement or what. I find that to be a little weird. Like, these faces were made on Sculpt.geo, which is, like, a sculpting platform for, like, making stuff. But, I mean, I don't remember, like, I honestly don't know, like, how the files were made for, like, the actual, like, how he designed these. Because, like, these are spot on compared to, like, the actual TV show props. Like, if you look at this design and you like look at an image of Toby, you can see how similar they are. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show off the face because like this really helps the model pop out even more. So I think that's all I have to say. Like, this is just a very nice model, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Now, if I were to do more Gauge 1 models, I think maybe I might try to make Henrietta to go with Toby.
That'd be cool.
I mean, Henrietta would be nice since I made Annie and Clarabelle as well. And if I were to do more rolling stock, I probably want to make other like rolling stock as well. Still, I think my next engine might be Oliver, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please comment and subscribe if you're new here. If you want to see more of my Thomas Friends related content. And anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.